Happy Sunday, everyone, and welcome back to another episode review / reaction for The Mandalorian. Today, I'm joined here by my lovely co-host, Helen. We have a lot to talk about today. I think that was another 10 episode, Helen. The Tragedy, Chapter 14, featuring the return of Boba Fett for real. So, happy Sunday, everyone. Hopefully everyone is having a great week so far. I see Rick Hoppy in the chat, Lady Leaf Underhill, Kate Bertinsky, Jess, I see Rick Hoppy, like I said, Robbie Meeson, Anthony, Lady Leaf Underhill, and all sorts of other awesome people are going to be here as well. So, Helen, what's up? How's it going?
Good. Very, very good. I literally just got home, hopped in the shower, and sorry, I'm wearing glasses and whatever I could find.
Twins. So what we're going to do, everyone, is we're going to rate the episode out of, I guess we'll go 10 macaroons because Helen doesn't like it when I do 5. So we'll rate it out of 10 macaroons. We'll get into all the awesome moments. This one was directed by Robert Rodriguez, who you may know from Dusk Till Dawn and some of the Sin City movies. He's a great director. He's actually had a strong friendship with Jon Favreau over the years. But let's get into a rating. I'm going to give this another 10. I thought it was that good, even though it was a shorter episode, Helen. 10 blue prawn macaroons out of 10. Back-to-back 10s is really hard to do for a TV show, I find. And I felt like this episode was just a banger. It was just so good. It was just Fennec Shand. We had Boba Fett returning, Boba Fett pledging himself to, of course, go help the Mando get back Baby Yoda. We're going to talk about that. But what were your thoughts on it?
I loved it. You know, last time I think I gave it 6 out of 5. And for everybody, I think you can't see it. Maybe if I do this with a camera, I'm not sure. So up there, on the best
Vader
spot on my Funko shelf. No, not Vader. Vader wasn't in this episode. No, it's Boba effing Fett. Since I was a little girl, I always asked when my dad asked for Christmas or whatever, what Star Wars stuff he can get me, I wanted Boba Fett stuff. I love that character. It's so cool. And I literally cried almost when the slave one showed up, and I was like, "Yay, it's Boba!" Because we didn't know, will he be really back? Was he just teased? And oh my god, I was so happy.
We got 2 different versions of Boba too. We got kind of the wanderer, gunslinger type of Boba, like the Nomad, and then we got Boba armored up Boba, which was like leveled up. It was sweet.
With a dad board. He now has and now he has a dad board officially.
Helen?
For Covans.
So Helen, you were just cutting out there for the past
now
20. Is Helen frozen for anyone else? Or is it just me?
Oh, sorry. I'm here. It might be my reception.
Helen? Yeah, Helen. I can't. I don't know. Is it? Yeah, Helen, you're complete. If you can hear me, you're completely frozen, pretty much. I'm getting little bits of robots sounds from you every few seconds, but yeah. Okay, so in the meantime, while Helen fixes that, chat. Pretty good episode, right? Lucky to have. It feels like a big W, a big win this year to have The Mandalorian when we're having it. A nice end towards a really crappy 2020. But I gotta say, like, that was, I don't know, despite the length, what does everybody think? Was that a good episode, everyone? Helen's got locked in carbonite, huh? We'll get her back. She'll just reconnect. Here, one sec. Let's make sure I don't have my Facebook open just in case she needs to message me. But yeah, what a great episode. Okay, everybody, give me yours until Helen comes back. Let's start giving some scores. Out of 10, what would everybody rate it out of 10 this episode? I give it a 10. I give the past 2 episodes a 10. There's not really anything that I can knock for the past 2 episodes. My Friday mornings are a pleasure, says Grogu in the chat. Ming-Na Wen returned. Yeah, I loved her in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. For those of you that watch that show. Lady H of the North. What's going on? Yeah, at the beginning, Kate, the reaction, Grogu. The Grogu. He repeats it. He's like, oh, man. Baby Yoda, Grogu is so cute. 8.5 just because we didn't see a Sith? I mean, Moff Gideon's pretty bad, though. We'll talk about it in just a little bit, but do you think that possibly a Sith trained Grogu, Chad? How about that? Because Moff Gideon seems super familiar with Baby Yoda. Maybe a 9 at Doctor Point, simply because half the episode was just fighting stormtroopers who are useless. Yeah, they do have a bad shot, right? We gotta wait for the biggest bad. I think the end of the episode was pretty revealing. I won't try to talk too much until we get Helen back. Helen is setting up downstairs, so she'll just be a couple minutes. In the meantime, we can sing Christmas songs. I can sing you Christmas songs. We can play the Hype Train song from the soundboard. We can take a poll and chat. Helen's going to be back in just a couple minutes, everyone, by the way. She's just setting up downstairs in any location. The reception could have been shoddy where she was previously. There's Helen in the chat. I wish Gideon luck in the future. He made enemies of the 3 most dangerous bounty hunters alive in the galaxy. Yeah. Hype Train song? Choo choo choo. Cyberpunk 4 days. That's right, everyone. Cyberpunk 2077 comes out in 4 days, and we're going to be streaming the hell out of that on the channel. Oh, man. Yeah, I'm super pumped for that. So we can talk a little news until Helen gets back. Cyberpunk comes out in 4 days. We got it pre-ordered. I think we're going to play at launch night. You could probably do that. So that, I think, when's it come out? 3 days. So is it Wednesday or Thursday? I don't know. I got to remember. Because I know it comes out in North America a little bit earlier. I think it comes out at like 5 p.m. or 6 p.m. in North America. Comes out a little bit earlier. So I'm stoked for that. Take a moment of silence for the Razor Crest after. But yeah, so that'll be really fun. We got Aziz coming on. We got The Expanse coming back December 16th. Me and Ashea will be doing a live stream to cover the first 3 episodes of the season. And then we're not sure if we're going to do live streams or if we're going to do a recorded podcast versions of coverage for The Expanse, but I will be covering the Expanse with Ashea from History of Westeros. So I don't know, maybe some ideas, chat. What do you think? Would you prefer live streams or more of a recorded podcast version of it? We're doing a live stream because they're dropping the first 3 episodes like The Boys they did on Amazon Prime, so that's going to be pretty interesting. And then after they dropped the first 3 episodes, I think there's another 7 or 8 after that. I can't remember if it's 10 episodes or 13 this year. Because The Expanse did 13 episodes previously, and then they cut back to 10 for last season. So it'll be really interesting to see, but we're going to be covering it regardless on the channel. So Cyberpunk, Expanse, Mandalorian, and then WandaVision comes January 15th. So that'll be interesting too. Helen, you're back.
Hello.
You're back.
Hello.
You're back in your bar.
Yeah, sorry. We have a storm, and I think upstairs the Wi-Fi is maybe really, really bad. Wait, just let me, because I'm very... Okay, this is better. Yay!
All right, we're back, everyone. So we were just talking, Helen, you gave it a little bit less than last season. So you thought the previous episode was just a bit better than this one, but this one's pretty good. That's kind of where we're going with it.
Yeah, or the same. I don't really know. I was just blown away by these knee thingies, by Boba being back, just yay. The old Star Wars is back, kind of.
Yeah, so this one's a little bit different too. I think the last one really focused on relationships as opposed to like this one was like kind of just really epic battles. I mean, that is what I think that's what we should start off with really kind of this was the last episode was a love letter to Ahsoka and Clone Wars and the Filoniverse, but this one was we never really got to see Boba fight like this. This is the most we've got out of Boba Fett, if you think about it. So this is like kind of like a delivering on a promise. They teased him last season, and of course they in the first episode of this season we got him, and we weren't sure when he was going to show back up again, but it was kind of a nice twist because we were expecting a Jedi and we got a Mandalorian instead. So not to rule out the fact that we might still get a Jedi showing up, which I still think is going to happen. We're going to talk about that more towards the end of the podcast, but so yeah, thoughts on let's kind of roll back. We'll definitely get into more Boba Fett, Helen. Start of the episode, we see Baby Yoda lock into his Zen Jedi Force mastery on this rock on Tython, and Mando is unable to access him. Pretty interesting. Grogu looks pretty powerful. What do you think?
Yes, and the thing is, I mean, he looked pretty powerful when he was doing this meditation, and me as a yoga teacher can only how cute was it when he did, yeah. I very appreciated Namaste at that moment. But yeah, no, you saw there that yes, he must be very powerful, although he was very tired, in the end. But yes, he immediately summoned somebody. But yeah, and we will talk about the end, right? But that was, I mean, he literally threw around stormtroopers. So yes, he is very powerful, confirmed. And yeah, I loved, him sitting on that stone. And the thing is, Din in the beginning was really like, oh God, he's not doing anything. He literally sat him. And this is very, father-son thingy. Like he put him on that stone and he was like, nothing's happening after a second. And then obviously he did his job. And yeah, he is summoning somebody. I do not think that somebody will show up next episode. And I still, last time I said, it will be Mace. Obviously it's not Mace. But I do think it's Luke because it would make sense. But Luke showing up this season does not make sense. And, everybody throwing around the Sebastian Stan casting as Luke. And we know Filoni loves fan castings. This is how Rosario Dawson got her job, right? Because some fan, and then people were tweeting about
Photoshop,
it.
yeah.
Yeah, and so this is how she got her job. It's not like she went to an interview or a casting, or her agent sent in her videotapes or whatever. She literally got casted because fans demanded it, and this is how Filoni, he's very on trend, right, with social media and with all these things, and he does it differently. Like it's not the normal Hollywood way.
It's funny
I would
enough,
say
she's connected to Robert Rodriguez, so you figured she might have ended up in this episode because Robert Rodriguez was directing it, but we got kind of. I mean, she was in the Filoni episode. We figured from before the season that was going to happen, though.
Yeah, I almost thought, Machete will show up. I would have Danny Teco, shout out to him. I love him. But yeah, when I saw Robert Rodriguez was doing this episode, it explained a lot.
Or something, though, behind the scenes.
Like, yeah. Oh my God. That
like Daniel Craig. We have all of these kind of guest appearances happen in the Star Wars universe. Speaking of guest appearances in the chat, we have John Webster Film, and we just made an agreement. He's going to come on next week with us. I just negotiated while we were live. The things you do as a content creator.
Yes, I love John. John is my homeboy for him and Dan for my Lord of the Ring content. And yes, no, but coming back to Luke, I really do think it might be Luke because it makes sense. Who is out in the galaxy looking for Jedi to train to fill up his academy? We know he had an academy where Kylo went and other students went, and so he's looking for students. It would make complete sense, but it doesn't make sense that Luke is showing up now this season. So I think they're teasing him, and maybe you just hear the voice or just see his cloak or him, because he was wearing the black stuff in Return of the Jedi, maybe just some figure or something. It would also make sense that it's Ezra, but I do think, because my theory on Ezra, hear me out and tell me what you think about it, because I tweeted about it. I do think Ezra and Thrawn, because Thrawn was mentioned, right? I think Thrawn will show up, and therefore
100%. They wouldn't mention him if they're not going to put him in.
Yeah, because therefore Ezra will show up, right? And because they're connected, they're somewhere, we don't know where. And I do think Thrawn is kind of has Ezra convinced that there is a greater threat. And I do think Thrawn and Ezra are working together against this greater threat. I mean, Filoni brought in so many legend stuff. So why not bring in the Yuzong Vong? Because for everybody who doesn't know what that is, Yuzong Vong is, they are a species very, very dangerous. This is why Thrawn joined the Emperor, because he knew of this outside of their known galaxy threat of a species. Literally, they can kill them all. And I do think that Thrawn and Ezra are working together because Thrawn convinced him, listen, there is a bigger threat. This is all just, child's play. Come and join me. I would love that. And so I do think the Ezra plot is different. And I don't think Ezra comes to train Grogu, Baby Yoda, whatever you want to call him. I do think it will be Luke, but they need to figure out who will play Luke. Do we DH Mark Hamill, or will it be whoever? And I think that is happening.
Well, I mean, a lot of people were saying, hey, get the voice actress for Ahsoka and just do that. You know what I mean? But I think Filoni and Favreau have been, they've really, I mean, look at Bill Burr as Mayfield. And stuff like that. You know what I mean? So they've been really good with casting so far. I feel really confident about their connections too. I mean, Favreau, Marvel Universe, Marvel gets the best actors to play. I mean, Robert Downey Jr., Iron Man. We're not going to get him as you know what I'm saying? But that's what I'm saying. I feel confident. I think we're going to get Ezra. I think we'll get Luke. I think we're going to get, I think the only non-realistic one that we're not going to get is probably Mace Windu. But let's talk about maybe more towards the end of the episode, Helen. I think that Grogu was trained by the Emperor. I'm just going to throw it out there right now because Moff Gideon seemed very familiar with Grogu. And what happened after Coruscant, right? Like Baby Yoda, Grogu is not dead. Moff Gideon, I mean, I think that we're again, we were talking about, oh man, like, maybe the Emperor is not as connected to all of this again, but I do think, I think I'm 99.9% positive that this is connected to the Emperor. Moff Gideon is connected to the Emperor. I think, like we said, Moff Gideon and Thrawn are not allies. They're both kind of trying to get to the top of the Empire ladder. But but just the way Grogu used the dark side of the Force, someone taught him that.
That's true. I don't think he learned that in the Jedi Temple, to be fair. But then again, Luke could Force choke. He did that in return. So but where would he learn it? And we know they mentioned,
the
Grogu had a dark times. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, had his mind wiped. So like the manipulation of his mind, like if we take what Ahsoka said, what were the exact words that she said? Because I think, when you take something literally, you know what I mean? Like, it was dark. Like, I think I'm going to have to go back and listen to that again, because I think the way she said it, like sometimes we interpret things and it's not like, oh, okay, we're like, it's this, but I like literally, you know what I mean? It's a dark time. Like the Emperor could be that influence that was taking over the young mind of Baby Yoda.
The question is, I do think at that time, look, the Emperor was he was so weak, basically, still in in the 9th movie, in Return of Skywalker. What was the name? Bloody hell, I just want to forget it.
The Rise of Skywalker.
Rise of Skywalker. And sorry, bashing. No, Rise of Skywalker. And he was still weak as F, right? So this is just a few years after Return of the Jedi. So he must be literally in shambles. So I'm not sure if the Emperor himself could train. Maybe it was an Inquisitor, a former Jedi. We know there were Inquisitors out there.
Some sort of Sith, though, because I think, we had all of the conversation in the chat last time, Helen, where people were saying, well, what were they using Grogu's blood for? And then we have, Moff Gideon talking about Dr. Pershing again, bringing him up again. This name, I'm sure Dr. Pershing is going to show up in the next couple of episodes. I'm not so sure that Baby Yoda gets saved this season, even. So, there's all of these implications. This is getting bigger. It's like, oh, okay, who is this volunteer? Who really needed this life force, this blood, right? Like, who is that badly hurt?
Exactly. What the question still is it really the Emperor, or is it, because look at bloody Moff Gideon, like he's literally portraying a form of Darth Vader, right? He is literally, it feels very Darth Vader-y, how he moves, how he dresses.
He's way more evil than Darth Vader, because look at what he said. Remember when he says, you've seen one of these before, when he's popping the Darksaber? And I couldn't help but think that he was referencing Baby Yoda, possibly still referencing the genocide of the Jedis by Anakin at the Coruscant Temple.
Maybe.
Was he? I don't know if I'm that's the way y'all are interpreting that, or I am. But yeah, that's something that I kind of felt the vibes of. I was like, wait, is he referencing the Jedi genocide right now? I feel like he was.
Yeah, because I think he was too tiny. I mean, he couldn't hold a lightsaber, or maybe it was a very tiny lightsaber. But yeah, I do. Maybe it was that. And I think Ana Iglesias is saying in the chat, I like the librarian theory. I think she's referring to, I think her name was Jocasta Nu or something like that. She was a former Jedi and she was a librarian. We saw her, I think Anakin and Obi-Wan had a scene with her. She also was a Jedi. Maybe she took him and then he was taken by the Empire. But yeah, you're right. It feels so. First of all, Gideon knows him, so he must have been somewhere. But I don't think it's the Emperor who trained him. I do not think that, and I do not think Gideon is Force sensitive. I said I don't want everybody to be Force sensitive now, please. So I don't think Gideon is. I think maybe Gideon wants to. It
It's
gave me
obviously
kind
Gideon
of
wants power, but I mean, is that's a different level of power. This is like, I don't know. I think we're still going to be hit with another twist by the end of the season, like another big one.
yeah, definitely. And this is what I mean, it would be cool, like they teased, Luke standing on that bloody island. You just saw him there, and then you waited for 2 years, and then, that happened. But it would be cool if in the end, the 8 episodes, so 2 episodes from this one, the finale, if we see like a figure and it could be Luke. I would love that, because I still think it shouldn't be Ezra. I think Ezra and these people should not be connected to the Mandalorian. And yes, I think John said in the chat, there shouldn't be a Skywalker and everything. And I agree, till now we didn't have a Skywalker. And this shouldn't be the Skywalker show. I think just him showing up would... I feel like they want to redeem kind of what Rian Johnson did to Luke. I really feel that. And so... Sorry?
Helen's popular. Too popular for the show.
No, my mom. No, literally, my mom is texting me all the time. It's like snowing, and my mom is sending me snow pictures, and I'm like,
wow.
yeah,
She's sending you snow memes.
Yeah, I'm like, stupid.
I'll show you
now.
snow outside in the lands of always winter. Up here, we have enough of that.
I know. Yeah, well, my parents live in the Black Forest.
It's super interesting though, Helen, where they're taking it, because like the first season we were like, okay, like there's a few, like they're gonna keep this grounded, right? But then second season comes along, and we're getting blown out of the water here with like the lore and the expansion of the universe here. It's fucking insane. It's awesome.
Yeah. And this is what a lot of people would say, oh no, now another Skywalker will show up. But I think it's I don't know. I just want a redemption arc for Luke, because he was not that character that he was portrayed in. Some of the new characters, they were fine, but that was not Luke. And it would cool if they would redeem him in a way. They don't have to make him the main character. It could be just a small thing, or him saying, come to my school and be slaughtered by Kylo in 10 years. # spoiler. I don't know, something like that. I think that would be cool. But we don't know.
I think we're going to see another redemption arc. I think Mando is going to end up with Boba Fett's ship. I think Boba Fett's going to sacrifice himself before the end of the season.
Yeah, I would love that if he would inherit
Slave One.
Yes, I would love that, because please don't destroy another ship. I was like, what?
As soon as the Razor Crest got dropped, and then Boba was like, no, I still have a debt to be paid. I was like, okay, I don't know if they're foreshadowing that. I just felt that. I mean, as soon as they destroyed the Razor Crest, I'm like, Mando ends up with Slave One, right? It's like it's gotta happen.
Yeah.
Oh, that Slave One gets in is the new ship of the Mando. How sick is that? By the way, Grogu is the one who mentioned that in chat, and I was like, I thought that right away too. That's the vibe that I thought.
Oh my God!
And then him telling the story about Jango Fett and how he was a foundling. That was so fucking cool.
And again, Jango got redeemed as well, because in Clone Wars we learned from that weird like he was some kind of senator person on Mandalore, and he was saying, oh no, he was just a random bounty hunter, and I was like, oh no, that's so sad. I thought he was a Mandalorian. And now he got redeemed. They kind of, I don't know. He was probably just lying to Obi-Wan. I think he talked to Obi in that scene. It's been a while since I saw it, but I was like, yay,
there have been rumors, people are saying in chat about a Boba spin-off. There's been rumors about spin-offs for Ahsoka and all sorts of different characters. One thing that I thought really cool was really cool too is I wonder if Ahsoka will learn about Anakin Vader's redemption. You think?
Oh yeah,
because she's super like down about everything that happened. Obviously, in the last episode, she talked about, she's like, I'm not going to train him. Look at what happened to Anakin. And obviously, if you watch Clone Wars and Rebels and you got to see what happened to Anakin, she like screwed up Vader's mask and shit like that.
She must know because Vader died, and she knew. She learned in Was it in Rebels or in Clone Wars that she learned that when she had that that fighting scene with him in the world between worlds, when she fought him and she cut off a part of his mask and she saw Anakin's eyes. I think she knows Vader is Anakin, and so if Vader died, I do think, well, yeah, she might not know that Vader helped. Yeah, you're right. Nobody probably knows that Vader helped Luke in the end to kill the Emperor.
Yeah.
I don't think Luke is
there's
spreading
so many
that
like
story.
little like interesting things like that Filoni definitely knows are impactful, like that we're talking about right now, that we're covering, and we're chatting with people in chat. Stuff like that is really important, that matters to Star Wars, like big Star Wars fans like us. You know what I mean? Like that small little thing. Like, yeah, Ahsoka had this conversation, but like all of these other possibilities are out there now.
Yeah.
Because they're doing this live action thing, with Ahsoka. So it's really interesting. And the fact, there's just so much that happened the past 2 episodes as far as character development too, man. Just crazy. It was so interesting to see Fennec Shan back. Of course, everybody has been like, I told you Boba Fett was coming back. He survived the Sarlacc pit. In my fucking comment section I was like, I don't think Boba's going to come back. They're going to bring characters back. And they're like, oh, I knew he survived the Sarlacc pit 1,000%. I had never had any fucking doubt. And there's all these... all these people come out of the woodwork, and I'm like, oh my God, man. Congratulations. You're right. I'm as happy as you are. But did you wait a year to tell me this? Like, oh, it's so fucking hilarious.
Oh, well. People. But yeah, and she looked very similar because I just had a rewatch of the prequels because, I'm a new prequel appreciator, whatever the word is. I do appreciate the prequels now because I have something new to hate. So that's good. But yeah, no, she looks a lot like that assassin Boba hired to kill Padme. Like the hair was very similar, the look was very similar, but I kind of like, that people team up, and I do think in the last episode we will have a super cool end game,
Avengers,
like people. Yes, I really do think that. I think they'll get the team together, and
I thought that was super cool, Helen, because Ming-Na Wen was in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yes.
A great show. We talked about that privately and a little bit on the channel. Like just bringing some of these characters back, bring Bill Burr back as Mayfield. We had Mando go see Cara Dune at the end of the episode. And we know that it's definitely going to be a 2-part finale, right? Like next episode, they go recruit all of their,
I think next is the
Guardians of the
recruiting.
Galaxy, Guardians of the Star Wars Galaxy type deal. And then we're going to have a and the next 2 episodes will probably be 50 minutes each. Like they're probably going to be pretty big.
They're long. Yeah. Do we know who's directing them?
Good question. I know Jon Favreau has one of them.
Okay. So it's Endgame.
Hilarious. I'll have to check the list because Peyton Reed, did he already get one from Ant-Man? I think he already got one. Peyton Reed, Robert Rodriguez. We had what's his face's daughter? Oh my God, I forget her name.
Dallas Howard.
Yeah. Bryce Dallas Howard. We had Dave Filoni. That's 5.
Yeah.
Did Favreau already direct one? And
Rick Fuyama.
Rick Famuyiwa hasn't directed one yet. I think didn't Favreau, who directed the pilot of this season? I think it was Favreau.
Yes.
So Rick Famuyiwa is doing one, and he's huge on the Kurosawa-esque Lone Wolf Cub kind of stuff that we got with the last Ahsoka episode.
Yeah. And Evokati in the chat, I hope I'm not butchering your name, is saying maybe Boba gifts slave one to Jin. I would love that better because you know what? Please don't kill off Boba. I just want Boba to be like a super cool myth after, all this time. Oh my God, he survived this, he survived that. I want him to be somewhere in the galaxy. Maybe if he doesn't get his own spin-off or limited series, but I don't want him to die. But it would be really cool
it's
if
one of
he
the two possibilities, right? Like to either gift it or die. Like, I mean, I don't
want him to die. Boba is such a legend, and if they made him survive that, to have him come back and then die, that doesn't make sense. Please don't do that.
Oh, it's so crazy that it's not that I didn't expect this kind of stuff would happen in The Mandalorian, but 2020's been a rough year. And for us to get this has been a big W, a big fucking win. Yeah. To get it's really exceeded my expectations. Like, I thought The Mandalorian was good, but The Mandalorian is now excellent. Okay, it's just been really quality TV. I wish there was 10 episodes a season, but I'll settle for 8. I'll settle for whatever we can get. That's been
definitely. And you know what? I do have the feeling, in the first season, they wanted to try out, are people ready for this? Are people ready for Star Wars as a TV show? Right, on a streaming service? Are people ready for this? Because we didn't have that before. Star Wars was always cinema, right? And I think they wanted to test the waters and wanted to see, okay, how do people react to that? And now they see, oh my God, this is really working. And they trust in people like Filoni that he can do more than just animation and TV. I do really still think that. And
people have been saying Filoni and Favreau should get the keys to the Star Wars movie universe. People have been I do think that will happen. And Story Group, they're so good, because sometimes when I have some time, when I'm like really bored, because I don't catch all the Easter eggs and all that stuff, but I'm a super nerd, I have all the visual dictionaries and I sometimes look stuff up, because there's a lot, like everybody in the chat and who's watching this, if you want to know more and you don't want to read the books or audiobooks or anything, go to the visual dictionaries. They're so good, and it's cool. It's so much fun to look up little things, and it's so cool. They literally and there was some nerdy guy on YouTube, and he debunked the writing on what Boba showed from the armor and all that little stuff, and like when was this planet mentioned before and whatnot, and they are so good with all these little hints and references and all that. Just like Grogu saying in the chat, just a simple man making his way through the galaxy. That was a reference to.
Yeah, just like my father before me. This is what Luke said.
Yeah.
What Luke said. Yeah.
Which is maybe a little bit of foreshadowing that we're getting. I don't know, Luke. I don't know. It's still cool. It's like all of those little things they've really.
I think Luke is coming. I think Ezra is coming as well, because if they mention Thrawn, if we have Bo-Katan, then I really do. By the way, anybody see my name? Can I please because I'm always always so okay, I'm the Clueless Fangirl. No, don't. I thought that was pretty
clever. Wow. Slow clap.
Okay, whatever. I really do think Luke will come back, and everybody can think what they want now. I love that. I think I would be okay with a recast. I would prefer if he doesn't get his own show. If he just shows up for a little bit, I would be cool with them de-aging Mark Hamill, because we know it's possible.
And people are really picky about that. So that's kind of an interesting thing too.
I mean, look what happened to Han Solo and Alden Ehrenreich. Like, poor guy. But that was not just the casting. It was more about the controversy. It was about Last Jedi and all that stuff that was happening.
I think people were just really unhappy with the direction that Star Wars was going in the past.
Exactly. I do think it came at the wrong time. It wasn't that shit. The film was not shit. It wasn't. Was it one of the best Star Wars movies? No, definitely not, but it wasn't shit. And I think it would have done better if it would have come at another time. And yeah. So I wouldn't mind a recasting that much, but it only makes sense if they give him more screen time. And then we come back to what somebody said, about, this shouldn't be about the Skywalkers. The Skywalkers should be done now. Yeah, kind of. So please DH Mark
Just
Hamill.
make them a they can be a part of the background, still part of the universe, but
Yes,
not
exactly.
but not the forefront. You know what I mean?
No,
like the
no.
Rey Ben Solo stuff.
Yeah.
Helen, we got a donation to your YouTubers. Oh, Valley of Plenty. Oh. Cheers, Mora. Happy Sunday. Thank you very much for the donation. And as you can see, I spammed some of the Mando and Baby Yoda emojis. And she said, may the force be with you and Helen. Happy Sunday. I'm sure she means it for everyone in chat, too. She's, I know aren't you at work? Mora's at work. She's slacking to come into the chat. But let's give a round of applause to Mora, a frontline worker during the times of COVID. Very dangerous.
Yep.
Sorry, Helen, go ahead. Continue.
I know, John saying, can we please shame John in the chat? Solo was fantastic. It's my favorite of the new films. What the F Rogue One is. And I think we can all agree on that. So
okay, we are going to change the subject before we get into a giant diatribe about...
Oh my God, if John comes on for the next episode, him and I will fight so bad. Yeah, and you know it. This is what we do on my channel. Because we disagree on a lot of things.
Let's start going into some of the other things about the episode that we really enjoyed, Helen. There's a lot. Tython was cool as hell. That was cool.
Really?
Yeah, I thought it was cool. I mean, I would have liked it to be more of like a jungly, fun planet, but it wasn't. It was what it was.
It literally looked like if you've ever been in California, and I've been in California many times, it literally looked like the backyard of my friend's house. So no, I do think they saved a lot of money with this episode because it looked very, I don't know, was it Rodriguez saying, let's just film in my backyard?
It's possible, actually. Yeah.
Yeah, it was. Seriously, that was very low budget.
But the thing I liked about it was the Baby Yoda forest projection of
that was cool, but it was normally Star Wars is all about these super cool planets and how they look, and that episode stood out, and it was literally like even the Rock, it looked very.
They used the budget on the Dark Troopers and Moff Gideon's cruiser and all that, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And Robbie Meeson saying Stonehenge. It was not Stonehenge. For all the Lord of the Ring people in here, it literally was Weathertop. The second I saw that, it was like, is Frodo there? Is Aragorn here? Are the ring raids coming now? And they came, like Iron Man ring raid.
It was kind of quick, though, the way that they did that. That was kind of a knock for me on the episode. Like, I enjoyed everything else about it, but it was like, I thought that's what we were getting for the two-part finale. Like, I thought that's where all the big battles are going to go down, but that's not the case at all. I'm really wondering where that's going to happen. I suspect that perhaps Moff Gideon could be hiding out on Mandalore. I'm throwing that out there a little bit, but I'm just not sure exactly where it's going to go down now, this big battle. I mean, could go out in space, but that seems less likely. I think with Moff Gideon's cruiser and the power that he's showing. So I don't know. What do you think about that, Helen?
Yeah, but it's not a super big ship. It's not a big Star Destroyer or anything. I didn't look that up. I didn't have the time. Also just watched it. I just had the time to watch it once. Sorry, my feet are asleep. And I'm always sitting in a weird pose on my chair. And I'm old, exactly. Thank you very much. Not that old. What did I want to say? Yeah, it was not a Star Destroyer or anything, but it was really cool. When Boba went up there and he saw the ship and he was like, F.
Yeah, because he did his little stealth mission there.
And he said, oh my God, the Empire is back.
He wasn't pleased about it.
No. Because he was never for the Empire. This is what they were referencing with what he was saying. I'm just a simple man making I'm just somebody out here surviving. I just want to
Like the
make
rest of
money.
us.
Yeah, I want to make money. He was not working for Darth Vader because he was a Vader fanboy. He was working, first of all, Vader wanted him because he was the best bounty hunter. Bounty hunters don't ask which side are you on. They ask for money, right? And this is what Boba is.
But it makes his decision even more interesting at the end of the episode to say, hey, I'm going to help you. Because
remember what the Empire
moral
did.
decision. That's a moral decision.
Yeah, but now we have the confirmation that he is a real Mandalorian. I mean, what did the Empire do to the Mandalorians, right? The Purge. So he must hate the Empire, actually. And this is, when you think about that, then when he's saying, oh my God, the Empire is back, that kind of makes sense.
And his father he got killed by a Jedi, but his father was still attached to the Empire and everything that was going on there with the clones and everything. Yeah. So it'll be really interesting to see where they go with that. Some people are saying that, Boba could sacrifice himself, and then Temuera Morrison could play Rex, which could be kind of cool so they could still see Temuera Morrison. I don't know. I'm just really kind of torn on where they're going to take Boba, because I'm even surprised that we got him at all. I'm like ecstatic, but now I'm like, okay, it's either he sacrifices himself, but I just found the moral parts of his decision really interesting at the end of the episode, because it felt like he felt a connection to what was happening. It wasn't just some like, okay, like you did something for me. It felt more than that.
Yeah, and the code, exactly, it felt more. And the code, like, I mean, literally, what could he have done? Like, Mando was like, his ship just got destroyed, his child just got, like, his child is gone. He wouldn't have killed Boba if he would have gone away with the armor. But Boba did a really cool thing in saying, well, we're not done here. We will help you.
And he knows the odds are against them, like, not great.
Oh my God, yeah, because he said the Empire's back. He knows that this is not just one ship. He knows the bloody Empire still exists. Yeah.
I mean, they look at the Dark Troopers. Those things were menacing as hell. What do you think about that? Because in our private chat, you were like, "Shit, those things are badass."
Yeah, but they are not the last stage of the Dark Troopers. They, I think, stage 2, because there are 3 to 4 stages, depends on what you count canon. Those were, maybe Moff Gideon has like this super Iron Man Dark Trooper thingy, but no, they looked epic and really cool. But again, it was just literally a short time. They didn't even really fight or anything. I think they will be used in the last episode, so I think we'll see them in action. I think Moff Gideon will wear some armor. I don't think he will just fight that.
Because what you're saying, Helen, is for those that don't know about the Dark Troopers, the Dark Trooper suit, like we're talking about, like stage 4 is like this like exosuit. These are androids, you know what I mean, as opposed to like something that Moff Gideon could wear as like a level up.
It's like Iron Man,
final boss type
like
shit.
Iron Man. Yes, yeah. And John says in the chat, this episode made me such a Boba Fett fan. I was never crazy about him as others have been, but now I am. I think they did that really, really good, and I think they made old people like me, like guy, let's call me old, who knows the OG Star Wars and who was one of the biggest fans. And in the comics and everything, Boba had a comic series and stuff. So he was very there's more stuff about Boba in the universe.
But there wasn't that much.
But still. So OGs are like, yay, Boba's back. New people are like, oh my God, that's a really cool dude. So again, tick tick.
Grogu says, I'm sure Moff knows to have made it a best star.
Like, seriously, I love that there's a Grogu festival.
Grogu, tell us your real name. Tell us your real name.
The kid.
Are you a man or a woman? Just tell us that. Like, just give us a hint. I have a feeling there's going to be a comical answer related to Grogu, Baby Yoda.
And he says, I'm sure Moff knows to have it made of Beskar. I think he's talking about the armor. Yeah, that would actually be really cool because if Ashoka then comes, like
how's she going to deal with him?
Yeah, and look. Ashoka, we said, I do think Moff Gideon is not force sensitive. I don't think he can fight with the Darksaber anywhere near Ashoka can fight with her lightsabers, right? But if he's wearing a Beskar Dark Trooper Phase 3 armor against Ashoka, oh my God. Okay, that can be, because we know this is coming. He said in so many interviews that Giancarlo Esposito said in so many interviews that he had so many fights with a lightsaber that he destroyed all the lightsabers. So that must come, right?
I think the only person that can really get to Moff Gideon and really hurt, I think Baby Yoda might kill him.
Nah. I don't think he will die. I don't think he will die this episode.
No, I'm not saying he will die even this season, but I'm saying if someone takes it out, it would be a really interesting twist if it was Baby Yoda.
But that would made him go to the dark side.
Yeah, I know. It's kind of interesting. Well, look at what we're seeing with Baby Yoda. This isn't the first time this has happened.
No, definitely. Yeah. And he had fun. What do you think? Like, let's go to the last scene we saw there, because I think there's a lot in there. But did he have fun, or was he? It's weird. It's like there are two Baby Yodas, two Grogus. Sorry, Grogu in the chat. Two.
Grogu, you are now part of our community. Welcome.
Yeah. Hi, Grogu. But he still doesn't want to tell us his name. Oh, and look, Grogu's dad, Robbie, has actually Grogu's dad.
Yoda picture.
Icon. Yeah. So where's Yaddle? Somebody needs to come. No. I feel like there are two Yodas. Two Grogus. Like one who really enjoys the dark side, and one, who sees with Jin, that there are good people, that there's good stuff, and who remembers his old life, maybe in the Jedi Temple, who connects with Ashoka and all that. It's like two versions of him.
You know what I just thought of? Is what if Baby Yoda reached out through the Force? That happened. What if we get a Force Ghost connection with either Obi-Wan, Ewan McGregor, because he's coming back.
Oh my God, then they would tease all the...
Yeah, and the thing is, he was on the set of The Mandalorian. Or perhaps even someone of his kind, Yoda. That would be a really interesting thing. I am your father, Grogu.
Oh my God. Then it would, oh my God. But then it would be so sad if Yoda as his dad shows up as his real...
I just did that for fun. Just relax, everyone. We know Din is his dad.
Yeah.
But I'm Bendu. I dabble with both. Welcome, Bendu.
So for everybody who doesn't know who the Bendu is, he is a very one of the most powerful, like, kind of an entity. He's neither good or bad. He just is, which is kind of a cool thing. Which is like the in between force.
Father I am, says Grogu. Man, we're having way too much fun with this Grogu in the chat. Helen, I almost said you, Chellen. My God. Helen, what were some of your favorite moments of the episode? You said the kneecap missiles were dope.
Oh my God. No, when the best moment literally was when he came in the armor, when he came back in the armor with his dad board.
You know what I also really loved is that at the start of the episode, the super cute interaction. He's like, Grogu, Grogu,
Yeah.
and he's like,
Yeah.
he like realized how cute he realized how cute the reaction is, the Grogu thing, and I was like, oh my god, every time they do that is so cute. I know everyone in chat feels like that too. Every time, like this, like like when someone talks to you, like you're having a conversation, they don't necessarily have to use your name, but they use your name as like kind of like a term of endearment. Like, you know what I mean? Like if they're speaking seriously to someone, you're like, Helen, like, this. But I just found that so adorable. It's so hard not to feel like, be like, oh my god, it's so adorable.
I know. And when the ship exploded and he went there and the little knob was one of the last things that was there, like I was, oh no.
Oh my god, this is crazy. Roger. What if Mace Windu shows up and is the Jedi that shows up for Grogu, and Boba sees Mace Windu? That would be friggin' crazy if they did that. I don't think that's gonna happen, but I mean, come on.
Oh yeah, and Boba watched it, right?
Boba watched Jango get decapitated.
Yeah, right.
They could be setting up like this other situation now where Boba is like being all helpful, and then Mace shows up. Oh my god, that would be fucking insane.
Yeah.
The possibilities are literally endless. I mean, it could happen.
And it's so, they are so tight with this season because literally I see everybody just guessing. It's not like I haven't seen any real spoilers. I haven't seen people coming out claiming I know this and this. And this is what makes this show so cool, that they're literally everybody's speculating. And it's not like we did with our Snoke theories, and then everybody was like, oh my god, yeah, I literally wanted to get that shirt. My Snoke theory sucked. I still want to get that shirt. And it's more like, oh yeah, that makes sense, and that's also cool. And this is what this show makes me feel, at least. And I think
it reminds me a lot of the theory crafting for Thrones towards the end, which was super fun, which was one of the fun parts of the community. This is super cool too, because we don't necessarily know, like we don't have a book series that's going to determine what all of this is going to be, and that's what's so great about the Mandalorian is this is a new thing. You know what I mean? This is a new thing that has no unwritten ending or no script. So this is so cool that they're doing that.
And because it's the Outer Rim, right? And the main storyline is not the core planet, and it's not about the politics, and it's not about that stuff. So they can literally run because we know, from the new movies, from the trilogy, we know what is happening in the core world, at least, and that the First Order is taking over. But we don't know, like they can run this show or this plot line and this Outer Rim stuff for years now, because the Outer Rim never was really connected to the core worlds, and they did never really care that much. So, yeah.
Oh, what another great episode, Helen. There's literally so much to talk about. I mean, the final. So, are we both in kind of agreement that we kind of think it's like a 2-part finale type deal? We both.
Yes, I think so. I think they are now recruiting everybody. This is what they teased, with the Cara Dune scene, and that they.
Which is why they brought Mayfield, Bill Burr.
Mayfield, yeah, and
they got to go break him out of prison, essentially, because Cara Dune is with the New Republic now. Which
is cool. Like it happened off screen apparently, because he offered her the job, and it's cool that this kind of just happened and we just learn it.
Still cool.
Yeah, but the moment she heard, oh, Baby Yoda, Grogu is gone.
That's hard, right? It's hard.
She was like, oh, okay, good. Here's the info you need.
As soon as she heard like the kid, she was like, oh shit, we're doing this. You know what I mean? She was like, I'm down.
Yeah.
Greef Karga will be interesting to see if Greef Karga is in too. I'm really interested to see who else they recruit. If it's just me, I mean, that's not enough. I mean, that's what. Okay, so Cara Dune, we got Mando, we got
Boba and Fennec
Shan. That's 4 people. Then we got Greef Karga, probably.
Yeah, I think so.
And then we got Mayfield, Bill Burr.
Yeah.
And then who else?
Maybe he made friends in the prison and somebody.
There's got to be people that don't like the Empire in prison.
Yeah, maybe. And yeah, who else could be? Well, but I do think somehow either the Death Watch Mandalorians will come back and he somehow contacts them, or so like the armor or some of them, or Bo-Katan, because Bo-Katan is also after the Darksaber, right?
Ahsoka's probably going to show back up. Ahsoka could have felt like one thing that's super interesting too is Ahsoka could have felt that through the Force. Right? Like she's a high level Jedi. She could be like, oh, okay, like she could have sensed that maybe Grogu is captured. Who knows?
Yeah, I do think they show up by themselves and not because he's somehow contacting them. I think they, kind of tracked Gideon and found out where Gideon is. And I think this will happen, that they come on their own.
Cal's a possibility, another Jedi that's in the Jedi games that people have been floating out.
Yeah, exactly. Somebody said, Lady H of the North said, I'm thinking Maul could show up since he wasn't in the sequels. Lucas wanted Maul to be the villain. Yes, it's very interesting. He wanted him to be in the new movies. Actually, in the plot he wrote, he wanted him to be the villain, but he's dead at this point for real. He got killed in Rebels, and so after he took over Mandalore, blah blah blah, long plot. But I think this time he's really dead.
It'd be kind of suspect if they brought him back now. You
can't kill this guy.
Filoni and Favreau literally have a zillion people that they can, like a zillion characters that they can work with. And while it'd be fun to have them all, I don't think he's going to be back either. Sean Tanktop says, cutest handcuffs in cinematic TV history.
Sean a Tanktop.
Shame.
You definitely get a shame bell for that one, Sean. Getting a horny chat. Getting chat horny. We don't need to get chat horny. They're horny enough already as is.
Oh my God. I didn't even think about that before you said it. So it's you. So shut the F up. So, he was lying there with his tiny hands and the even tinier handcuffs. That was, yeah.
Did you see one of the other things I really liked that was super cute about the episode is Baby Yoda reaching up to the butterfly? I thought that was super cute.
Oh, yes. And there is a, in the Vader comics, this is what's left of Anakin in Vader then when he meditates. I think in his castle, the butterflies show up as well, and then Vader kills the butterfly. So he kills the last part of Anakin, but we know there's something left in him. So that's also connected to Vader, the butterflies.
And it's interesting that Baby Yoda doesn't kill the butterfly and eat it. So that's
obvious.
Imagine if Baby Yoda just grabbed the butterfly and ate the fucking butterfly. That would have been traumatic for me.
Yeah. And Robbie says, this is what I was thinking as well. I wonder if those New Republic pilots will come back into play these 2 last episodes. That would be cool because, Kara kind of, if they break out the prison guy, Mayfield, then the New Republic will know, right? Because it's a New Republic prison he's at. So maybe they go after them and then they'll be like, oh my God. Because, do you remember one of the guys said something fishy is going on in the galaxy. So the butterfly moment kind of reminded me on Gandalf in the Fellowship of the Ring.
And those ships too. The ships appeared in how many episodes now? 2. They appeared in the alien spider ice planet episode.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, with the
lizard frog lady.
Yeah, frog lady. Yeah, exactly. So that would be kind of cool. They follow them and they're like, what the F, we were right. The bloody Empire is back. So that would be cool.
Yeah, Grogu says if they know the Empire back, they will have no choice. That's correct.
Yes.
And we do know the rebel forces get dwindled down and dwindled down and dwindled down. So, but they know what's at stake if the Empire rebuilds to an empire, right?
But it must have happened. They literally let it happen because what's the first order, right? what we know of the movies is they formed in the outer rim. They were not in the core planets, and
Moff Gideon's got to be a big reason for that, I think.
Yes, definitely.
And he's the intel guy. He's plugged into all the information that's going around. So
yeah.
Whew. But yeah, Helen. We got Rick Hoppy in the chat. We got Sean Tank, John Webster Film, all sorts of awesome people. Thanks for the donations, by the way, from Sean and Marley. We really, really appreciate that. This has been super fun, Helen. Like I said, this season has been fantastic. I really was expecting it to be good. 2020 has been rough, but it's been beyond my expectations because it's been so good. And it's been really, really a nice light in the darkness for 2020, I have to say. I know most of chat agrees as well. Yeah, just overall, the fight scenes were great in this episode. The CGI was great. You know, the Mando and Baby Yoda moments. He was really trying hard to get through that force field. You could see how the connection and the relationship between Grogu and Din is just growing and growing and growing. Like it's getting pretty hard for them to be separated. You know what I mean? Like Din is like, listen, let's go storm an Empire ship. I can't leave this kid. It went from him giving him up for Beskar to him storming a fucking Empire ship. Like, think about that. You know what I mean? So that's a pretty big jump from point A to point B, if you think about it.
Mm. But the thing is, do you think they will get Grogu back? Because then what's the like season 3? What would season 3 be like then? What's it about? Like they try to get Grogu back?
Unless Thrawn shows up like Thanos at the end of season 2. I'm not so sure that happens now. I don't know though. We've been surprised so far with Ahsoka and Boba Fett. So who's to say we can't get I'm expecting the unexpected because it's been so good so far. So I don't, you know what I mean? Like you said, we've really been guessing, and they've really.
What I still think is they kind of tease because we have literally 3 fractions of Mandalorians now. We have the Death Watch people, where Din belongs to. Then we have the other fraction of also foundlings like Yoda, Boba, and then we have the real Mandalorians from the clans, like Bo-Katan. I do think that there will be a problem in between the Mandalorians, and this is what could also be part of the plot in season 3, because I don't think that they're a warmongering culture, right?
Kind of like mirroring Civil Wars, because we did talk about a Civil War in the Empire with Thrawn and maybe
I do think that. I think there are quarrels to be had, in between the Mandalorians themselves, and I think that what might happen, because I don't know if they have Baby Yoda back.
It's going to be really hard to say. Like, I was on the fence him getting kidnapped in episode 8 of this season. I was like, there's a chance.
And then this was the cliffhanger. What's happening with him? And now that is already done. But if they would keep him and the hunt just goes on, is also weird.
It's really I mean, they won the battle. They essentially, at the end of season 1, Moff Gideon was in his ship. He had to cut himself out. So it would be interesting if the Empire won. Kind of like we got with A New Hope, then we got with The Empire Strikes Back, and then Return of the Jedi. We know that kind of back and forth between light and like winning. It goes both ways.
But it's not 3 seasons. I think they confirmed 4 at least, right?
I think it's like 5. I think they're signed up for
5.
like 5.
Yeah.
Well, regardless, there's going to be a bunch more seasons. It's just going to be interesting to kind of see like this back and kind of like they did with the Ice and Fire endings in Game of Thrones. Like one ended and ice, fire, and then it ended with the end. So that was, I don't know.
I still think there's a bigger fish besides Gideon, because this is what always happened, and I don't want it to be the Emperor, because, as I said, at this moment he's probably on somewhere almost dead. I don't think it's the Emperor. I think it's Thrawn, and I think Thrawn is in conflict with people like Gideon who want to build the empire, rebuild the empire, and people because still out there who rebuilt the First Order. It was this guy's father. Oh my God, from the new movies, the redhead. Domhnall Gleeson. What was his character's name?
I'm even forgetting.
Oh my God, Kyle, the general Hux.
General Hux.
Hux and his father, or rather his father, and him, they kind of rebuilt the First Order for, now we know, Palpatine, and so there are bigger fish out there who want to rebuild this thing, and I do think Thrawn is not part of that. I think Thrawn now with Ezra has his own agenda, and they could tease that. So yeah,
I do like the Civil War idea, like the conflicts with like, and usually we get different POVs, so I like it happening on both sides, you know, if it does happen.
Yeah.
Grogu brings up another amazing point. Do we think compromise between the armor faction and Bo-Katan's is to have Din rule or have something like that, kind of like a mediator type thing? I think it's really interesting when Bo-Katan says this is the way, like this is the real way, like you don't know as much as you thought. I think we're still going to get some more flashbacks from Din, possibly. Those have been pretty impactful, and
those houses were powerful, don't the way she said, "Oh, you know nothing," and I'm from this and this house. I'm from Clan Ren, and we are like not Ren, that's Sabine, but
it was very elitist.
Exactly, and I don't think she would accept somebody like him with a dark saber. I just don't think that. So this is what I'm saying. Like,
but what he does by his actions, she may come to respect him. Something may happen.
And this is how you become the Mandalorian. You fight for it. You fight to become the Mandalore. So yeah, but it's there's so much still to tell, and that's a cool.
It's a shame that there's only 2 more episodes left. I want so much more. Like I was like, it's been so good, right?
I know.
But hey, it's gonna be like what, a nice Christmas gift. Wow, how many more days? I'm just trying to check here. So we're getting the next one on the 12th and then the 19th. So like just right before Christmas.
Literally Christmas, yes. And then the year is over and we can, but I think there's already filming season 3, right? So I do think maybe if we're lucky, we get it around the same time, because Star Wars always is out, well, the cinematic movies were, except Solo, around Christmas time, right?
Best time of the year, my favorite holiday.
Yes. Oh my God, I've been listening. I've been driving home from Berlin and I've been listening to Christmas songs. Shame on me, Michael Bublé. But isn't
Canadian, he like, not shame at all.
Yeah.
You know what's funny, Chad, is I was actually singing Christmas songs to Helen before.
I've
been dreaming of a white Christmas.
I got out of the shower and Gal was like singing about that, and I was like, okay, I've been listening
and
to
Helen
this.
was like screwing around, like she had her speakers on in her room and she was getting something in the kitchen, and it was just me, jingle bell, jingle bell, jingle bell rock, just singing fucking Christmas songs. By the way, chat, we stand Christmas music here. I absolutely love Christmas music.
Same.
It's
cheesy, but yeah, a few days a year you can. Although I haven't listened to the radio, so I haven't listened to Last Christmas. I need to listen to Last Christmas.
Oh man, there's so many good ones. Like I knew them all in French because I know them in French and English. So I still listen. Like growing up in school, we used to have like Christmas music as when we were in class and stuff like that. So that was really cool. Oh my God. The thing is like if Christmas music wasn't copyrighted, I would just do like a holiday stream with Christmas music. But one thing that I did find is lo-fi hip hop, this lo-fi hip hop YouTube radio station. So I might just do a stream where we have that on in the background and we vibe to it. It's actually really good. I actually really like it. And I've been listening. I just put it on in the background sometimes when like I'm doing shit like dishes or just cleaning and have it in the background. I'm like, yeah, it's Christmas spirit. So, but yeah, this was a great episode, Helen. It seems like all of you in chat really enjoyed it as well. The Mandalorian has been really impressive this season. Like I said, I enjoyed the last episode just a bit more. Like that was an 11/10, the Ahsoka stuff, but this is really like a 9.5 out of 10 for me. 10. It was good for what it was. There was some weak moments, but this is the fact that they just showcased. It was like a showcase to Boba Fett was really fucking cool.
Yeah, no, I was so happy because we didn't know what his role will be, and now it's actually quite a big role because I do think he will help him. He will fight more fight scenes with Boba. That's
Teach him
what
things.
literally every kid growing up in the 90s like me dreamt of, or like
I want to be a
18s.
Mandalorian.
Yeah, oh, so cool.
So yeah, thanks everyone for joining us today. It's been super cool. If you enjoyed this, of course, you can like and you can subscribe. You can find all of Helen's social media and her YouTube channel in the description of the video. Helen, you've been doing more Lord of the Rings videos, and you're actually collabing with John Webster, who's going to join us next week as our special guest. So talk a little bit about what's going on with your channel.
Well, I'll be on John's channel. John is currently discussing the 3 Lord of the Ring movies, literally besides the 3 OG Star Wars
Which one
movies.
is the best, by the way? I love Fellowship a lot. And it's really hard for me. It's just too
I
tired.
literally love Fellowship the least. What? I know. Yes, I know. Boo. I like Fellowship the least. My favorite is Two Towers because yes. I'm a sucker for all these battles, and literally the battle at Helm's Deep, although it is not correct, and the elves didn't show up in the books and whatnot, I like the Battle of Helm's Deep is movie history, people.
Fucking and Gimli and Legolas.
Seriously, it's still the best. And 4K, they're all out now in 4K.
I saw that.
Yes, and I'm thinking about getting a 4K TV just to get these movies.
I slept through a rewatch in London. I was
oh my god, yes, it was just Gemma, Robert, and I who saw the movies, and you were literally sleeping. So shame on you. But
shame.
Yeah. But yes, no. So we talk about those 3. So I'll be on for Two Towers and Return of the King, which, oh my god, Return of the King is also so good.
Now I want to go watch them. I've watched them like a zillion times, but it never gets old.
No, they don't. That's a good thing. They always come on for Christmas in Germany. So it's either my dad and I always do either a Star Wars marathon or Lord of the Ring marathon. So I think
people were calling them Christmas movies, and there was this huge debate on Twitter, and it was absolutely fucking hilarious about the definition of Christmas movies and what that actually means.
Yeah.
I'm like, I think Lord of the Rings are Christmas movies because I just watch them every holidays. Like during the holiday season, everybody's taking breaks. They're watching movies like stuffed on food, just relaxing or whatever.
It's the best time to argue with your family and all that. It's perfect. And get drunk. It's this is what John and I will do, and I do have a lot of content on my channel, and I was just on Dan's channel, Voice of Geekdom, and we did a fun stream about Galadriel, and I voiced for literally the biggest Lord of the Ring channel on the internet and YouTube on History of the Ages. 2 friends of mine as well from Wales. They are amazing. Go check them out. They have amazing content, and I voiced Galadriel in a dramatic reading and the cool scene with the mirror. So I did that, and I have Helen drinks and knows rings. Helen drinks and has rings as well. Yay! So that's what I'm doing.
Speaking of Lord of the Rings,
certainty of death.
Oh my
small chance of success.
What are we waiting for?
I'm a huge Gimli stan. He's just the best.
Yeah, he is. Yes. I don't like dwarves. Just saying this.
Really?
I don't like dwarves. And that's what I'm doing. And I'm just writing a Is Galadriel Evil video just now. So I'll drop that. Spoiler, she's not.
The Clueless Fangirl.
Yeah, that's it.
Except she's not clueless, but that's her YouTube name.
Yeah, because I don't want people coming at me like, oh, but you missed this. This is like
it's the fucking pronunciation of Galadriel. Yeah. The hell is fucking this way and that way.
Anyway.
So I thought maybe, I can't with my name already be like, I don't know everything. Don't come at me.
So yeah, lots of things to be excited about. Helen is doing all sorts of awesome content. Of course, she'll be back next week and the week after. And then for the Christmas special, which we're going to be doing, Sean Tanktop will be rejoining us for that. So that'll be fun. For this channel, Cyberpunk comes out in 4 days. As of course, that is my most anticipated game of the decade. So I'm super excited about that. Expanse comes back. I'll be covering that. December 16th. Mandalorian is still around. WandaVision is coming on January 16th. And Vikings is coming back too. I think it's like the 1st of January. So lots of cool stuff is coming out. And there's been announcements that HBO will be showing all their films at home. You can watch them at home if you have HBO Max. So I'm going to watch Wonder Woman, which is going to be coming around. I think it's the 24th of December.
Yes,
that's going to be super exciting.
Christmas. Yeah.
Gal Gadot's the best thing that's happened to DC. I think Wonder Woman is she's just amazing as Wonder Woman. And yeah, there's a lot of stuff coming. I think, the pandemic has sucked, but I think we're starting to turn the corner a little bit. You know what I mean? The world is starting to move forward and things are starting to, hopefully, fingers crossed, knock on wood, continue to get better with the vaccines and all of that news. And yeah, and hopefully all of you will stay safe. Of course, I speak for both of us. Wear your mask, be safe, take care of yourselves. And we are excited to see you next week. We hope that you will join. I'm sure it's going to be another great episode. We thought this one might be another side episode, but fuck.
Yeah. And I literally said, yeah, it will be a filler episode. And I was like, oh my God, not a filler.
And if you do want to support the channel, you can hit that join button. Super fun way to support the channel. You get cool emotes and badges. Like I said, I'm going to spam the Yoda, Baby Yoda emojis and Chewbacca Ahsoka. So that's been super fun. If you want to support the channel, you can hit me up on Patreon. Link is in the description of the video. All my social media. If you want to say hey, and we'll chat. Thanks everyone for joining, and we shall see you all in the next live stream.